Cool. Find a nice space. So first of all, we're just going to do some shoulder rolls, get the old body ready. Now she's hidden behind the sofa, look. And then forward. Good. Now we're just going to do some nice big arm circles, getting us in the mood, some nice deep breaths. Forgetting what's happened already this morning, or what's going to happen later in the day. Let's just think about you and how you're going to feel. So recapping the moves, we've got the reach across and round. I'll do them slowly to begin with. So reach up and round. So the shoulder really comes round, holding the tummy in as you lean. Good, couple more. So reach. We're going to speed them up in a little while. There we go. Let's go to the circle, taking it up and over. So really reach and lift. Back heel comes off the floor, so the whole of the body gets a lovely stretch. Good. You can dip the knees if you want to, make it a bit more dramatic. Next move is back of the hands together, little squat in the middle. Hands together, squat. Hands together, squat. Lovely. Next move, so forward and back with the hands, take a step, forward and back, and really bring the tummy in. So we're really going in, bracing as if you're going to get punched in the tummy. That's the best way to explain it. Good, lovely shoulder roll. One more. Then we're going to go high and low. So wide legs, low, high. Crossing at the bottom. Try and keep the chest up so the core's engaged. Try not to lean forward. Lovely. Good. Shall we go to the top? So we're going to speed it up, so it's going to be quicker, slightly quicker. That's it. Still a big reach. Circle, circle, circle. Reach it. Good. Across the body, little dip in the middle. Dip. Dip. Good. Coming up tall as you reach across. Okay, then we've got our down, and up, down, down. One more. I'll step to the side, step and forward, step and forward. Really tucking that tummy in. From the top again, here we go. So the heart rate's starting to lift. Circles. We're just doing 4 of each. Across the body. Dip. Test for the brain. So take the steps to the side, forward and back. We can slow down here, make it big. Backing in. High and low, here we go. And cross. So really keep the shoulders high and tall when you go down. Good. We're going to stay here and do our little 3 pulses. We've got squat, 2, 3, then a big circle. Stay in here for 3, big circle, reach up. Squeezing the glutes and the legs as you come up, here we go. Squeeze. And one more. Should we go all the way from the top? Here we go. 4, circle. Cross the body next. Little squat. Little dip. Forward and back. Taking your time on this one. Rounding the back. Rounding the shoulders. High and low. High and low. Good. And everything in the body working. One more. Little pulses. 2, 3, and big. And again. Deep and down, legs nice and wide. And circle, up we come. Squeeze the glutes. 2 more of these. Big. Last one. 3 little squats. Big reach. Oh. There we go. Just roll those shoulders. Give those hips a little circle. That's lovely. It really flows, doesn't it? It's waking up those hips. Good. Lovely. Well done. Okay. We're going to move on to our arms. I don't know whether you remember last time. We were doing reaching forward, linking the hands. Now with this one, as you lift the hands above your head, try not to do the classic body leans forward. Okay, so you remember when we're on the floor, we try and keep the body nice and still. Okay, this is what we want to do. So we're reaching forward with the hands together, interlocking. Keep that body still, brace that core. This is where you know how good your shoulder mobility is, and then out. So we're going to push forward, interlock, take it up, and out. Trying to keep that core really engaged and still. Let's go. Interlock, arms up. That's at the point the body starts to try and do that, doesn't it? Keeping it lovely and still. One more, let's brace that core. Up. And open. Okay, we're going to work on that shoulder mobility. So we're going to go back to here, interlock. And I want you to go from here to down to here. Tricky, isn't it? Okay, so it's just checking those shoulders. They get very stiff. But make sure that core isn't flexing and your back is staying nice and still. So really the shoulders are the only thing, and the arms are moving. Last one, hand release at the top. Yeah, little shoulder roll. Lovely. Okay, so that's the finish of the warm-up. So I'll show you a couple with the band, and then we show you the option with the dumbbell. Because the band you may not have a really strong band, so you're never going to improve. So, but you may have some weights that are going to add some weight to it, and therefore you're going to improve, okay? And when we're looking at the bone health and everything, we need to add a little bit of weight. First of all, we've got wood chop with the band. Best thing to do with the band, this one. Underneath one foot, holding on nice and tight. You might want it, we're going to be reaching right up, so hold it right on the end and have your foot right on the end. We've done this before. Bend knees, we're going to go down to the leg with the band under, reaching up and across the body. That's it. So it's a full body movement. These are compound movements, so they're using most of the muscles, or nearly all the muscles in the body every time we do a move. So I want you to really reach, looking up, stretching. Knees are soft, in a sort of half squat position. You can go into a bit of a lunge if you want as you reach out. 2 more. Last one. Oh, should feel that all the way. It's really good to work across the body. When we walk, we do anything, we're very straight, and it's really good to open up across. So we're going to go the other side. Tuck it under the foot. So this is a trip to the Far East music, so you've got to imagine you're in Singapore or Malaysia or somewhere. Okay, down we go. We're doing Tai Chi, shouldn't we? Down we go and reach across. Long and tall. That's 3. Going for 8. Halfway. Lovely big reach, good. More. Nice down, touch the floor if you can, and reach up as high as you can. Last one. And push. Good, okay. So that depends on how strong your band is and how much you feel those. But hopefully, even if you just did that move with no band, you would still feel that opening up. Okay, so I'll show you this one with the band, and then I'll show you it with the dumbbells, okay? We'll do one with the band and then one with dumbbells. So we're standing on the band again. Same side as the arm. We've done this before, just to lift up to the front, but I want you to really think about bracing the body. So glutes are tight, tummy's engaged, tailbone under, good posture. If you're a bit like me and the tummy comes forward, just make sure tummy's tucked in, shoulders back. So you've got that nice posture, shoulders down, and we're just going to lift for 4. That's 2 more. Last one. Then we're going to take it out to the side. So it's lifting up to the side, just make sure that shoulder doesn't come up. The arm can be slightly bent because it's the shoulder we're working. Is that 4? Okay, then we want to change grip. You want the band to be behind you because we're going to do that shoulder press. You might feel the whole body here stretching. So the band rests behind your arm. Good, let's do one more of these. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to do the same on the other side. Now these are a little routine. You can pick up the band and do it any time. Very simple, very straightforward. Could be in any kit. You don't need to get changed. All right, but they're really good for strength. So let's think. Tummy, glutes, pelvic tilt, shoulders back. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Good. Shoulders down. Out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we've got to just change that grip. Let it go down behind your hand. Keeping this elbow high if you can, because this part is sort of wasted. Okay, you want to try and stay up. So we're pushing from here and back to there. This way, your band is always engaged. Your arm's always working. If you let it come down to here, it's resting. Keep it up, one more. Good. Okay, so you now know if you've got a band and you want to stay with the band, that's what you're going to do. If you've got your dumbbell, I'm going to grab just one dumbbell. I got a little one today. Okay, so remember, the strength comes from here just as much from the shoulder. This is your powerhouse. So we want it engaged, glutes, and you're going to feel stronger. Are you ready? Here we go. So lifting up to the front. Doesn't really need to go any higher than the shoulder. Okay. 2. The knuckles up to the ceiling. That's it, lovely. Then we're going to take them out to the side. Again, arm can be bent. So you can have that little bend, see? Doesn't need to be straight. Okay. So you can have that arm bent and it just needs to come up to the shoulder. Good. Lovely. Change your grip. Remember, anything below right angle is a bit of a waste. So try and get the arm there. Are you ready? Push. Push. And it pushes over your head, so you're bringing it towards your head so it goes up. I'm sure we're doing more than 4. Okay. Lovely. Okay, on the other side. So just bracing the tummy, tucking the tailbone under. If you could change your band over. Are you ready? Shoulders. Knuckles up. Keeping lovely and still. No rocking in the body. Your core's going to stop that from happening. Let's go to the side. You can have a slight bend again, like I say. 2. Looking good, guys. Very still. Last one. Good. Let's go into that shoulder press. Arm comes up, right angle, and we're just bringing it above the head. So if you had 2 together, it would look like this. You're bringing them towards each other. Okay. Now you don't need to have it at any sort of angle. It's whatever your hand and your wrist. Okay, so it could be here, it could be at an angle, or it could be flat on. So it's whatever your arms. It doesn't really matter too much how you have that angle of the weight. Okay, how are we feeling? Shoulders blitzed? Right, we're going to go behind us for our triceps. These old arms going. So, into a bit of a calf stretch. Engage the tummy, okay? So this is where all the tummy comes into everything we're using. We're going to brace there, nice and firm in the body. We're going to lean forward so we protect our back. Hands go behind us. As tight a band as you can have. Touching your bottom, pushing away. Touching your bottom, pushing away. So they bend and straighten. Bend. And if you brace that core, as you do this, you're working that too. Let's go 2 more. So really squeeze in back of those arms. Good, and rest. All right, you'll be better off doing 8 3 times than you are continuing. So just let them have a little rest, or else you're going to start to get cramp in them. Okay. Lay the band across your hand. Keep the elbows in, and give the band a little pull. Okay. So just going to keep that tension, but we're going to turn the body. We're going to do our twist. So our biceps are in tension, shoulders, you should feel it. Knees are facing me and the hips are facing me. And you're just keeping in that fixed position, using the waist. One more each side. Here we go. There we go. His arms start to feel that after a while. If your band's not very strong, double it up. That's another option. You can just fold it up and do double, and that means you've got stronger. It's up to you. Let's go again. We're going to put the other leg forward into our calf position. Bring that tummy in, okay? Shoulders back, elbows together as much as you can. Hands bent, and we're going to go straight, bend, straight, bend. So shoulders nice and open. You might even feel it across the front of your chest. Tummy's in. Two more. Squeeze. And down. Okay, we're just going to go back. We're going to do these 3 times. I don't want to do too many at a time. Again, a little bit of tension on that band. Elbows in. And we're just going to do 4 of these. Just have a break. Good. Okay, back to our triceps. One more time. 3 sets. So hands start bent, elbows bent, hands on your bottom, and they straighten. Think about pulling that tummy in. Takes your mind off your arms if you think about your tummy. Squeeze. This 3rd set you can feel for sure. 2 more. 4. And last one. Good. Okay, let's give those a little roll. So we'll go straight into a little stretch with those, just to release them. Going the opposite way, taking them across the body. So that stretch. Well done. A little upper body strengthener there today. Okay. We'll do a core with band on the floor in a minute. And taking the other arm the other way. Good. Okay. We're going to do our sort of roll down flow like we did last week with our twist. So it's going to be our seated prayer. So the idea with seated prayer is try not to let your hands come apart. Okay, you want to keep the base of the hands together. So as you go here, the body has to twist to make sure that you don't open the hands up, yeah? So the body, the elbows rolling down the side, rolling down the other side. When we come tall, we don't want to do leaning, we want to come tall, engaged tummy, okay? So it's going to be fairly slow. We'll just do a few of those to start. Then we're going to do our half roll down. So we're going to start here, over the top, half roll down, and all the way. And put your hands on your shin. You can bend your knees if you want to. Get a nice flat back, opening the chest. And then we're going to go back into our stepping back. The hand that is next to the foot, you're going to lift the other one, and we're going to do that. Then we're going to go into down dog. Okay, we're going to come back with the other leg. I can never get that leg forward. We're going to turn. We're going to come back up, and we're going to go up. Okay, so that's the flow. All right, so I'll put the music on. Just going to go with this one. So it's another lovely little routine, and you can split these up and just do these little bits in the time that you have in the week. Okay, did I press play? Oh, I got the right piece of music. Okay, so we're going to start with our prayer. Try when you're twisting, can you see my knees are going? Yeah, try not to twist like that. Try to be static, and it's your body that twists. So we're not going to hurt the knees. So we're going to twist down the side. Stay tall. Twist. Reach. Really sit the weight back over the bottom. And tall. Just this one, literally, before if you go for a run or do any other exercise, is a really good warm-up. You've got your ankles, your knees, your hips, your sides, your shoulders, your core, everything. A couple more. Last one. And stand lovely and tall. I'm going to turn sideways. Are you ready for our flow? So we start off in prayer, arms up. Rolling forward, hands onto the floor if you can, or shins, pressing on your shins, flat back, looking up. Then we're going to take our right leg back into our deep flexor, hip flexor, and our left hand is going to reach up to the ceiling. Lovely twist, well as the hip flexor stretch. You might feel that in the glutes, as well as the chest and the back. Coming down, step both legs back to down dog. Lifting the tailbone as high as you can, looking back through the arms. Trying to get those heels onto the floor. High tailbone. And then we're going to bring that right leg forward. Step it forward. Give it a bit of a help if it needs it. Lifting the right arm up to the ceiling. Lovely twist. Hold it there. Then hands down. And bring the other leg in. Slowly rolling up. Taking the arms above us. Back to the heart. Let's go again. Here we go. Over. Bending forwards all the way. Hold there for a second. Hands on shin, bend the knees, looking up. This time we're going to take the right leg back into a nice deep hip flexor. Make sure the front knee is above the ankle. And then we're going to lift that right arm, left arm, up to the ceiling. Lovely twist. And down, back into down dog. So looking through, stretching the back, head through between the arms, high tailbone, stretching the calves as well. Stepping that right leg forward, make sure the knee is above the ankle and twist. Taking that arm up to the ceiling. As time goes on, you might be able to turn the body even more, looking up at that hand. And hands down, bring the foot forward and slowly rolling up. And down. Okay, we're going to go one more. Are you ready? Here we go. Up. And you've got the routine in your head. So forward fold. Hang for a second. Hands onto shins, head up. Taking that left leg back into a deep hip flexor. Taking that right arm up to the ceiling. Lovely twist, looking up. We didn't go into down dog, did we? Oh, down dog now. Down dog now. Head between arms. Heels down, high tailbone. Lifting up to the ceiling. Left leg forward. Left arm up to the ceiling. Lovely twist. Both feet together, bring them forward, and a slow roll up. Up and end in prayer. Now if I have no time for anything else, in the morning, okay, that's what I do. And there's nothing better than opening up your body. It opens up the chest, it opens up our hip flexors that we say we're a bit tight. If I'm going to sit all day, then that's what we need to do. So, well done. Come and join me down on the floor. You go. I've got my notes here, so it's a little bit different. We've done some of the moves, a little bit different. Hands up, anybody comfortable with tabletop, i.e. this? Are we there yet or not? Could we do one leg maybe? Yeah? So we're going to do some, in a minute, we're going to do some like dropping the knees. So if you keep your toes on like I've got, yeah? So it's not feet, toes, so you're on your way. We'll try it with some little knee drops with the toes on the floor. And then we're also going to try with one leg in tabletop with the other leg down. So you're just, again, you're literally halfway to tabletop. And then I'll also show you the tabletop version. Okay, so we're going to be doing that. So grab your band, pop some music on. Nice. I'll take it down a little bit in volume. What did I say? This one. There we go. So, laying on your back, feet bent. You might just want to watch me for a second before you lay down. So the band just needs to be so you've got some tension on it, okay? So I've just got some little bit of tension, okay? So we're still working the arms. So feet on the floor, knees bent up. And the biggest thing here is, as I've said, standing. We just want to engage the core, pull the tummy in. Neutral spine, okay? So not pushing into the floor, but not up, okay? And we're literally going to do the arms above the head and nothing else moves, just the arms and the shoulders. Okay, and I know some people bring it to your legs. Some people find that range of movement quite difficult, so it's a really good one to practice. If you are having any problems, if you stick your thumbs out, thumb in a lift, and you at least put your thumbs onto the floor, That's a good indication that you're trying to reach down with your thumbs. But if you're okay with it, you can just put your hands all the way onto the floor. Are you ready? So we'll start with our hands on our legs. Put a little bit of tension on the band. The arms are working. So we're going to breathe in. Hands all the way back. And breathe out. And then again, breathe in. So just check that the back isn't arching. The tummy stay nice and still. Pulling in as you just slowly move in your hands overhead and down. It's tricky at the top, isn't it? The back wants to arch so that the shoulders don't work. They don't have to work so hard, and this is why we get lack of range of movement in our shoulders, because the back starts to help. So we don't want that, because we don't want our back to be doing all the work. We want the shoulders to do the work. One more. Lovely. So we're going to add a bridge. Now the bridge is the rolling up of the pelvis, taking the tailbone off the floor, lifting the hips. At the same time, you're going to bring your arms forward. You might want the band a little bit wider. Sorry, I should say that. And then you're going to put your band on your leg, and you're going to push down with the band to the floor. Your arms are going to work, your hips are going to push up, your arms are going to push down, and then we're going to roll everything back down again. Are you ready? Okay, so as the arms come, the pelvis comes up, we lift the hips, arms come up, backs across the hips, pull the band down, see if you can touch the floor, pushing the hips up high. Then we're going to roll down again. It's a really lovely movement. Putting lots of things together here. Rolling up. A little bit of strength, pull that band down to the floor, hips high. You're making those hips work. And again. So this time, really squeeze the glutes. Push the tummy high. And down. Let's do that 2 more times. Rolling up. Hip goes high. Push, push, push. Band down to the floor. Lovely. Roll down. Breathe in. If you breathe out as you do the exertion, which is breathing out as you push the band down. Breathe in as you come up. One more. So you breathe out as you come up. And in as you roll down. Good, okay. So we're going to bring it to our hips, and this time we're going to pulse with our hands. So we're going to have the band across our hips, and we're going to push down to the floor in a pulsing action. Ready? Let's roll up. Bring the band across the hips, and we're going to push. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, last one, and rest. Taking it down, arms above the head. Check that that back's not moving still as you take the arms over the head. We're going to do that one more. Here we go. So rolling up. Hands come forward, band across the hips, and push. 2, 3, 4. Keep those hips high. Last one. And roll down. We're going to do one more. We're doing 3 sets of things today. Here we go. No messing. Hips rolling up. Arms over, band onto hips, and push. 2. See if you can get those knuckles on the floor. 3, 4, hips high. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. Stay lovely and solid in those hips, lovely and high. Good. Okay. So just rest those arms a minute. Let's just take them down a second. I want to keep them over our heads all that time. Lovely. We've got a chest opener now. So we're going to work across the front of our chest. You want your band just below your boobies, okay? So it's across the ribs more than the chest in a way. Okay, and you probably want your band a little bit wider. Just see what's comfortable. What we're going to do is we're going to lay nice and still, and we're going to open the arms out. So your arms are going to open so they're nice and flat on the floor, and you're pulling the band across your chest. You're opening, working the front of the arms and that chest, keeping the tummy engaged, nothing else moving, just those arms, pulling them apart, fists out onto the floor when they're lovely and straight. One more. Good. Okay. Now, I want you to get the band so you can hold it in that stretch position, but it's not too tight. Okay, so it's sort of just trapping your chest down onto the floor, but you can hold it there, because this is where we're going to start coming up onto our toes. Okay, your knees, you want to imagine you've got, I don't know, a tennis ball. Should we say a tennis ball between our knees? For Claire, you've got a tennis ball between your knees, and you're going to drop your knees over to one side. Doesn't have to go all the way to the floor, they just drop in, keeping the tummy engaged, and come back up to the middle. So your tummy is stopping your knees from going too far. It's like holding, 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 and then it's pulling and back up. Take your time, think about it. Arms are stretched, your upper body's braced, and your tummy is stopping. It's almost like it's going to fall, pull it back up. There we go, one more, and your legs feel like they're going to fall, and your tummy pulls in, and it pulls them back up. Okay, let the arms rest for a second. So I'm just going to show you the next level. We'll work up, but we can then choose, which level you want to stay with. So, taking the band across your chest again, because we want to brace the upper body. Okay, just make it a comfortable sort of pull. You're going to take one leg up into tabletop, the other one's onto your toes, and you're going to do exactly the same. So it's going to be a little bit harder. You may not go so far, and then pull yourself back up again. The other way, same knee up. You're just going to drop. If that's too much, just go back to both toes on the floor. You won't necessarily go all the way to the floor. I want you to not use your back, I want you to be using your tummy. Okay. Lovely, and come back up. Right, we're going to just try. You could obviously do that with the other leg up as well. We're going to go straight into just trying tabletop, just to one each side. So come up into tabletop, really pull that tummy in. Now you may only think, crikey, I can only move a few inches one way, and then my tummy loses it and I use my back. You may only go a few inches one way, and coming back, and then lower one leg, and then the other leg. Okay, so it depends how you felt. So we're going to do a few more, and you choose which level. So thinking that you don't really want your back to be having to pull your back up, it's your tummy. So if you felt that the legs in tabletop was too much, then just work with one leg up, or just with both toes on the floor. Are you ready? I'm just going to do them in full tabletop, and you join in with whatever level. Here we go. We're dropping down to one side. The tummy pulls in, and pulls the legs back up. Over to the other side. Just as you start to feel like you're going to lose it, pull in, come back up. One more each side, that's all we're going to do. Over, pull in. And we're really talking bikini between the hips, lower tummy muscles here. And pull in, come up, lower one leg, and lower the other. Okay, good. I want you to just hug your legs in, let the bands go, and give yourself a little massage on that lower back. All right. So if you found them sort of useful, I'm thinking of, building those next week. We'll sort of probably stay with that sort of move. I think it works really well with those lower core, lower abs. All right. Lovely. Okay, what have we got next? We're going to sit up. Coming up to sitting. Pop the band around your feet. See you all again. Now remember, with your feet, when you have a band around them, your feet tend to go like this, yeah, and sort of squeezed in. Can you try and keep tension in your feet so that they're actually pushing the band out? All right, so they stay like that as opposed to sort of coming in. So that way you're going to work the outside of your legs, okay? So we're multitasking, ladies, come on. All right, so we're sitting on our tailbone like nice and tall. All right, so our first move is to just roll back a little way, tucking that tummy into this C curved position, and then sitting tall. We're going to use the band, so it's not too difficult today. So we're rolling. That's the only time you can slouch. It's a real slouch. And then, yeah. So in the slouch position, let's go back to that slouch position. What I want you to do is as if something's pulling you from here. It's your core that starts the movement, okay? So it's not your shoulders, it's not your arms. You tighten here, and that starts the move. So the brain triggers with that first. Let's go, a couple more times. Rolling back, just onto the flat part of your back, tailbone, and then coming up. One more. Keeping those feet pushed out. Ready? One more. Okay. So with what we've just done and that, it's quite sort of starting to get intense, more intense, really focusing on that core and those lower abdominals. All right, so we're going to do a little turn here. So we're going to go back into that C, and I just want you to tilt. Okay, it's quite intense. When you lift this arm, tilt this arm back, and sit tall. Now we're going to do the same the other way. So back, at the point you're in that position, tilt. Okay, as if you're tipping something out. Or you've got a tray in your hands. So we're going to go back. We've got the tray in our hands, and we're tipping it into the bin. Coming back up onto the tailbone. Looking good, guys. I love it. They're sitting tall. Tilt when you're at the bottom. Coming up. So we're starting to use the sides here, aren't we? Feel these coming in. Let's stay here for a couple more. Tray in my hand. Tipping it in the bin. The big bin. Sitting up. And again, the other side. Once you're back, don't tilt too soon. Tilt. You're not near the bin. Coming up. These are good, looking good. So we're going to stay with this one. Let's do one more. Rolling back. You can see you're all getting some good moves. A little pull of that elbow at the bottom. Sitting tall. And again. Tilt back. Tilt. Pull back with that elbow at the bottom. And sit tall. Good. Now just relax the legs, because I know there's a little bit of tension in the legs. Give them a little, sometimes you can start using your thighs, okay? The band sort of helps a little bit because it stops you from using your thighs quite so much. So it sort of actually makes you focus more on your core, believe it or not, by just making it a little bit easier for you. What we got next? Okay, we're going to do a full roll down and a roll back up with your band, not without. So same again. Feet pushed out. Hand in our hands. You might want to watch. Okay, so push those feet out. You've got some tension in your legs. You're going to roll back into that roll position. Try to keep those ankles on the floor. We're going to go all the way back. And believe it or not, you're going to come all the way back up again into that position. There's going to be a sticky point, but use the band, use the core. You'll need a hand, Claire. We're going to roll again. We'll let you off. We'll let you off. Okay. So there is a sticky point, isn't there? And this is where you've got to sort of think, right, as I come back up, it's about here. Really pull in with the core. Give a little pull with the arms. Try and keep the feet on the floor. Roll up. Massively good one to practice. Okay. With the band. Let's go one more time for those who are doing. Down we go. And it's the same on the way down. If you can get that little flow, so that as you come up, you're going to tighten that tummy, tighten the tummy, and all the way back up onto your tailbone. Fabulous. One to practice. Good. Okay, so we're going to lay on our back. We're going to have another nice stretch. We're going to take one leg up to the ceiling. We've done these before. Okay, one leg up, one leg along the floor. This is opening up your hip flexor here, even doing this. I hope you've got enough room, because there's nothing better than taking it. We're going to go straight for a big circle. You disappeared, Sarah. We're going to go round, big circle, up, over and around. You can have a slight bend in your leg. You don't have to have it dead straight. And then you're going to change direction. And you're going to come across the body, past the face, out to the sides. You can feel all those muscles we've used today. Anywhere that you're tight, definitely going to show you. Back of the hamstrings, back of the legs. If you are tight here, just pause for a second maybe, just straighten, and then go off again. Fabulous for the hips. Inside of the legs, outside of the legs. Okay. And then we're going to change to the other leg. swap them over and bring the other one up. So let's go straight into large movements all the way across the body. You don't want to lift the hip off the floor too much and roll the back. You want to make it your leg that's working right into that hip. So we're going one way to begin with. And then we're going the other way. So a little workout could be those over your arms into the bridge, pulling the band down, finishing off with a nice leg circle. Easy peasy, 10 minutes. Just grab your band, lay down and do something. There we go. Last one. Good. Okay. Lovely. Coming up to sitting. Cool. There was one more I've got that I'd like to do, but I'll probably do that next week with you. So we've done lots of core today. So we need to do our back, believe it or not. So we need to strengthen the back. So we're going to lay face down. You know our Superman, where we've got our legs comfortably apart, however wide apart that's comfortable for you. And you've got your arms. So you're going to have the band in your hand this time. Okay, so I just want a little bit of tension in the band as we did before. We got our head down. You can put your head on the floor. I'm going to keep mine up so you can hear me. And we are going to brace that tummy. Remember, we need to lift the tummy off the mat, or imagine that's what we're doing. We're lifting that tummy away from the mat. You can squeeze your bottom, and you're then going to lift both legs and both arms as if you're parachuting and you've jumped out of the plane and you're doing your 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 check and then down again. Okay, because I know you've all jumped out of a plane before. Here we go. So pull that tummy off the floor, squeeze the bottom and lift. And lifting the hands and legs. Really going to work that lower back and down. Shouldn't be pinching, it should just be working the muscles in the lower back. If it is, just don't lift your arms and legs so high. Tummy in, squeeze the bottom and lift, stretching the band in your hands and down. And we got one more of those. Take a little rest, a little breather, then tummy in, squeeze the bottom and lift. Stretch the band and down. Lovely. Cool. Taking a rest there. So we didn't need our rolled up towel today because we're going to do that one next week, I think. I'm just going to pop some nice, relaxing, sort of gentle, stretchy music on because we've nearly done. Da, da, da. Okay, we've done well today. Right, we're going to lay on our front, stay where we were. Going to bring that leg in, have a nice stretch. Conscious of Claire needing to get off the tennis. So we'll have a lovely stretch and they should be ready to go and have a good game this afternoon. Pulling that leg in, trying to keep both hips. You're sort of thinking about keeping both hips on the floor, not letting that right hip lift. Relaxing the head down. And slowly the muscle should relax. And then we're going to change legs and pull the other leg in. Stretch in the front of that leg. Lovely. Good. And then just slowly coming up. We're just going to come up onto elbows to begin with. Still stretching that chest and the back. If you want to push your hands in and come up to swan dive, you can, just a little. Okay, then pushing yourself up. All right. Now, can you remember pigeon pose? A tricky one to get into. Bringing one leg forward. You want to bend it across you, leg straight out the back. And it's very much dependent on how flexible and that you are. So whether you can sit up or whether you end up by popping that bottom on the floor. Some people can sit here, some people rest, but it's entirely up to you. You feel it, it's your stretch, okay? Some people can bring this foot forward, okay, and they get a deeper stretch. So just move in this stretch. Places you should be feeling it, a little bit on the hip flexor and into the glute on this side, okay? Possibly the hamstring as well if you're a bit tight there. So that's where you should feel it. If you want to come down, you can pop 2 fists and rest your head forward. If you're really flexible, just rest your head on the floor. So if it doesn't feel quite right or it's too intense, just wiggle, just move the feet, move on to your bottom more. Good. And then we're going to slowly come up. Okay. See if we can take a nice sort of tall position here. Little stretch of that chest. And then we're going to try and change legs. So we're changing over. Bring the other leg in front. Taking the leg straight out behind, or as straight as you can get it. Again, you may be up here, nice and tall. Some people can balance and stay up. Some people need to drop. That's fine. So taking hands onto the fist and just rest into that position. And relax. Try to relax into the stretch. I know it's a bit of an awkward one. Let the muscles go. This is how we're going to increase our flexibility at the end of the session. And we're nice and warm. Lovely. Okay, we're coming back up. We're going to pop our legs out in a seated position. Okay, if you find that difficult and you have got your towel there, you can put your towel off, and it just tilts your bottom forward a little bit, so it makes you know, better angle. Okay, so that could be, as we've got them there handy. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're just going to put our hand down the inside of that leg for a little bit of pressure, and we're just going to do a little side bend. Staying lovely and tall. Good, and we do the other side, so sliding down. So you've got that little bit of pressure to be able to take the stretch as far as you can. Good. And let's go back to the first side, because that's quite nice in there. So, there's different ways. You can go very straight, you can go slightly forward. Just move again, it's your stretch. If you feel tight coming forward, then that's the one for you. If you like to sit taller and go sideways, and stay there. And then we're over the other side. Hand down the inside, over we go. I'm just going to try coming forward, yeah, I can feel that. So I'm going to stay there today. Lovely, coming up. Now, I'm not supposing anybody's going to be able to put their head on the floor or anything. We're just going to reach forward, very gently. Now, lower back will start to go, oh, don't like that. So stop at that position. That's all you need to do. Just keep tall in the body, reaching forward. Again, it's good to put your body into that position just to stretch out some of the tightness that we get in that lower back. Especially when we said about posture. It's angled all the time. It needs to learn to let go and lean forward. Same as when we're standing and we do that forward fold. If you find it, you know, a lot in that position, just because it's saying, I usually go this way, I don't like to go that way. And then rolling back up. Cool, okay. So we're going to go into our cat-cow. So we know our all fours, that's it. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And then we're going to drop the tummy down. And that's a really good one to open up the pelvis and the hips. And we've been working our lower core there for a bit today. So just really open up your hips, drop that tummy down. And then we're going to tuck them in, lift them up the other way. Try to not stretch just in your shoulder area. Try to round all the way down to your tailbone. And then come back down again. Dipping that tummy. And then slowly up again. Good. Lovely. Okay, we're going to come into down dog, so tuck your toes under. Let's have one last little good stretch, pushing the heels down into the floor. Head down, looking down. Push the heels so the back of the legs are stretched. Shoulders are being stretched with the head through the arms. Tailbone high. That I always find difficult.
As soon as I try and lift my tailbone, I'll feel it down through my back. Tucking the tummy in. And then slowly coming down onto your knees. All right, so I want to just finish today. We're going to do some of those side laying open doors. We're going to do some both sides, okay? So, knees are bent, arms are out in front. You're going to take your time. You want to pop your pillow or your towel under your head just to make yourself comfy. We might as well. We'll be here for a few minutes. So as we come up, we're going to take a lovely breath in. Watching the hand going up and over, all the way out behind us. See if you can get both shoulders on the floor, or at least your hand. Pause there for a second. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then up and over and back. Good, take your time. Here we go. So, if you're feeling stressed one day, just maybe lay on the floor and do this. Why not, hey? Breathing in, taking the hand up. Just give yourself a second. A couple of these with some nice music. Your body's going to relax. Trouble sleeping, it could help with. Not suggesting to do it in bed, but and one more, taking your breath in all the way back. Take a couple of breaths there, really stretching that body, and back again. Lovely. So we're going to drop our knees over to the other side. I want to be equal, rolling over. And we're going to lift that upper arm slowly over and back. At least your hands on the floor. Just feel it across your hips, sides, shoulders, chest, and back up again. In your own time. Lovely deep breathing. It wouldn't take long to relax if you did this, would it? One more time. And then, as you come back, just slowly come back up to sitting. Bring yourself back up. Little crossed legs, hands on the legs. We just do a couple of little rolls with the neck one way. They suggest not to roll all the way round. So if you go from shoulder, looking down to shoulder, half a circle, or over the top. And there we go. Wonderful.